I'm gonna get real personal real quick. But does anybody else feel so alone right now? I go to therapy, I go to the gym, I run, but I still feel so alone.
Have you ever felt like you were stuck in a dead end job with no possibility or no way out? I think that's one of the most common things that ever happen to people in their 20s, 30s, 40s, or even 50s, right? We often get to see and to find ourselves doing something that we're not actually enjoying doing, and we cannot just wait until the time to log off, to get off that work that we don't feel confident in doing. And most of the time, that kind of relates to being bored at work and not really having a passion of doing that type of work. As right now, I think I already told you guys in the previous video, but I find myself in one of those kind of toxic environments when it comes to the workplace. And that's also one of the reasons that I decided to put in my 2 weeks notice for that job, and also to just quit, right? Because I was not feeling in a good situation. I didn't have anything good to think about the work. Whenever I was waking up, I always felt like, okay, this is going to be one more day that I'm not gonna be happy, doing something that I'm not gonna be happy, and just talking to people that doesn't make me happy. That comes with the feeling that many of us, like many of us, we just want to belong to a community. We just want to feel accepted for who we are, and we just want to make sure that we are seen and heard. And right now, as you guys know, I'm traveling all across Europe for their summer, which I know it doesn't look like right now because it's pouring rain here in Switzerland. And I feel like, and it can give you the impression that it's not summer, but it is summer. And I just heard from a friend of mine who's in Milan that they're having a heat wave. And I was so shocked because the weather right now in here is so cool. It's raining. I think that the biggest part of that is because I'm up in the mountains, so I don't really feel the heat. But going back to the topic, we just want to belong to a community. That is also one of the biggest factors that made me create this YouTube channel. I wanted to belong to something. Beyond that, I wanted to make sure that I was creating a space, a community for more people that felt some topic or discussion that I was having that they could relate to. That is also one of the many reasons as to why I decided to create this YouTube channel. I wanted to have a space where I felt welcomed, where I felt like I had someone to talk to, and where I could build a community. And building a community from scratch means opening up about whatever is going on in your life. It means that you also get to talk to someone that you never seen in real life, mainly online, and you get to share the experience that you're going through almost as live. Just kind of navigating life in your 20s or 30s, and kind of finding that community of people that feels the same you do about life, about work, about relationship. That is so important for us because so many people, they are looking for a community. They are looking to belong to a group. And I've seen many videos across all social media platforms of people saying, I feel so lonely. I don't have any friends. All of the people that I talk to, they are online, and I don't have any physical interaction, or I don't get to go out with them. I don't get to actually just be outside and hang out with them. And I think that's because we have a lot of digital influence nowadays. You know, you can swipe right and meet the love of your life. You can just apply online without actually having to go to the workplace, like walking to the workplace. You can use that online. And because of that commodity and that comfort zone, that makes you feel like you can do almost anything online, right? But we are almost forgetting about the number one factor that is responsible for making us who we are today, which was the human factor. Imagine not having someone that started this one day, and where we would be in some point in life. And I feel that human interaction is so important. So it doesn't matter how many friends you have in the social medias, how many followers you have, how many people they are going to watch your videos. What about the people that you have in your life that you can actually go out and have a coffee with? What about the people that you can go out on a Wednesday night and also just have pizza or just have something to eat, right? What about those people that you can actually just get your phone and text them or call them and say, hey, let's meet up in 20 minutes or in an hour, or what are you doing this weekend? And that feeling is something that you don't get to see very often, mainly because all of the things that we do right now, they are online. The series that we watch, the TV shows that we watch, the movies that we watch, they are all inside this box, this digital box. That is putting us in so much comfort that we don't want to leave the house. We don't want to be outside. But that's the whole thing. We should be able to continue to do the digital stuff, the online stuff as well, but we should continue to be able to get out, to leave the house, to travel, to meet people, to go to cafes, to go to restaurants. And you don't have to have 12 friends to do that all at once. You can just start by doing that by yourself. That's what I do. Actually, I travel alone and I eventually meet people from all around the world that I kind of connect to. Sometimes we don't hit it off, but the people that I do connect with, I always try to bring close to my life. I keep always try to keep them as a friend because you never know whether you're gonna have a time where you're gonna need them for a good reason, for a bad reason. Just because you are craving to start that relationship, because you are craving human contact, you are craving human interaction, right? And I always try to think, okay, wherever I go, I always try to think, all right, what are the things, where are the places that I can go to, that I can be in contact with other people. And it doesn't have to be that it doesn't have to mean that you're actually going out every single night. It doesn't mean that you're gonna spend all of your money in parties or food or taking out, dining out. It's not that. It's just having the sense of, okay, this is me. I've been riding in bed all day this weekend. What can I do now? What can I get food that I'm literally standing outside the house? I'm actually getting to see the sunset. I actually get to see the mountains around me. I can see my neighbors, I can shake someone else's hand. The lack of human interaction that we're having right now is just something that I think is responsible for us feeling so lonely. And I say that in a good way. I don't mean that in a bad way, not at all. Because I also make part of the group that prefer to do many of the things online, and I don't like going outside. But I always have to remember, and also I always keep telling myself, okay, this is not gonna describe or define who you are. You can always do a little bit of both, right? You can always have a balance in life. You can always go out, have a drink, have a coffee, but you can always, go back to your home and watch a movie just by yourself. And speaking of having a time to do that, I literally just watched a movie today. I think it was called Materialist. I'm not sure, but I'm gonna put a poster right here. It was the movie that they had Dakota Johnson, they had Pedro Pascal, and they had this other actor, the one that played Avenger, or was it Captain America? I don't remember, but you guys are gonna see. And it was so good, so touching, and it was at the same time that was really talking about the nowadays relationships and dating life in New York City and blah blah blah. It also made took me back to when there was no cell phones, no internet, no Wi-Fi, no anything, and people used to have the only possibility to meet someone by just walking up to them. Literally standing on a bar, or just walking on down the street, or even just being outside. And this character that Dakota played, she was really from the beginning interested in only dating for money. So she was like, I need a rich husband, and I'm gonna need someone to provide for me because I don't want to work anymore. And these are my terms, and they are non-negotiable. And then the show kind of goes from her breaking up with her poor boyfriend to actually meeting up with the brother's groom wife, that the wife was her client. And the client that she had, because she was a matchmaker, was this person that they were trying everything else, the dating apps, just going to bars and socializing, but they couldn't get a husband. So the matchmaking service in New York City was being done by this company called, I think, Adore. And they were doing so much of aligning with people and see what were the compatibilities and see how much they were going to match in real life. And Dakota, her job was to match those person, right? So mailing straight couples. And the movie navigates her dating life at the same time it does for one of or two of her clients, right? He navigated us through a couple of situations, some bad, some good, and she ended up getting engaged to this rich guy, which was played by Pedro Pascal. And they literally find out that in the middle of one night that they did not feel anything for each other. They had no love for each other whatsoever, so they decided to part ways. They decided to break the engagement and just to move from that. That's when she goes back to the ex-boyfriend apartment just to say, hey, I don't have anywhere to go. Can I stay with you? And they embark on this journey where they're gonna end getting back together. But not because she changed, but because she realized that doesn't matter how rich you're gonna find someone to be, or it doesn't matter how successful them can always be. It doesn't matter anything. It's saying if you don't have anything related to love, if you don't love that person, then the table is empty. You know, there's nothing left at the table for you to pick up. So she eventually got back to the ex-boyfriend, right? And she was like, I don't care how poor you are, we're gonna manage it, and we're gonna have to find a way to work more jobs or even find more money. But I'm not letting you go just because you're poor. I'm not gonna make the same mistake twice. Because remember, she had broke up with him just because he was poor. And she came to the conclusion of like, I'm not gonna do that again. I want to have you by my side forever, and I wanna grow older with you. I wanna have children with you. But for that, we're gonna have to overcome the financial struggle, which was they were both making less than 80K a month, a year, I think, and that was a problem because if you do live in New York City, if you do live in US, you know that you have to make way much more money than that just to make it through the month. And it kind of shows that community can also be a community of two people, and you don't have to have all of the money in the world. As long as you love someone, you're gonna find the possibility of walking with them towards the same goal. And this is kind of the idea that I wanted to bring you. If it is a community with 12 people, 1 people, a million people, the goal is always the same, is to love and to be loved. And the only way to do that is by having the mentality and accepting that we need to go out. We need to leave the house. Okay. It's not 100% rule, but it's something that you have to do from time to time. I still believe that you can meet your husband swiping right, using dating apps whatsoever. Like DMs, you can do all that. But it doesn't change that you still have to get out. If it's not for finding love, or if it's not finding someone to be with because you already have that person, and congrats to you. Do it for yourself, do it for the community, do it for meeting up with people that you're eventually going to call them friends. They're going to become from strangers to someone you know, and eventually you're going to find so many friendship relationships outside of that. And imagine, the possibility is endless. The million things that you get to do when you set your mind, okay, I need to work on that. I don't have to be waiting all day sitting here as if anything was going to drop on my lap. It's not going to happen. You have to go out, you have to explore. And as I told you, I've been doing all of that for quite a while now by myself. I didn't find love yet, but I have found so many friendships that in the end of the day, they mean love. And I feel love, I feel seen. And that's the more important thing that we have to have right now. That's it for today. This is not a long video, but I wanted to share with you guys what were my thinking, and also I kind of had a couple of insights after watching the movie and just scrolling through TikTok and see a couple of videos about being lonely, about not dating, about not having any friends. And I was like, wait a minute, I think I have my 2 cents that I wanted to add to the whole bill. Thank you for watching till the end. Make sure to subscribe to the channel, leave a like, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye bye.